ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादां सागणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपकांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome to the class. So today we are going to discuss a very important topic, things that we should consider before selecting a life partner. Okay, so this is a very important topic for, especially for the young girls who are about to get married, and also for Matajis, those who have daughters, and so definitely they need guidance at how they can marry their daughters, and also for those it's actually useful for everybody, because we can we can help others to get their daughters married nicely. So it's helpful for each and every person. Okay, so today we will discuss this topic with reference from Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a very wonderful story in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, of Kardam Muni and Devuti. So based on that story, I want to discuss this topic. So if we consider the previous few years, maybe 15 or 20 years before, how the marriages were conducted. So we can see that that time the marriages were conducted, especially the marriages were organized by the marriages of the daughters were organized by the parents. And in the previous years, if we see that the girls were protected by their fathers till the marriage age, and by the time they reached puberty, they were married. So before they reached puberty, the girls were married to a boy, to a suitable boy. Okay. So Prabhupada says that in one of the purports in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says that before puberty, if a girl is married, then the psychology of the girl is that if a woman is married to a first man she meets, then she becomes a staunch lover, and the chastity that she should have for the whole life towards that husband is also very fixed. So Srila Prabhupada says that if a girl is married before puberty, then that first man that comes in his life, so she becomes a staunch lover of that man. She will never leave that husband, because she has a great love for that person whom she met for the first time. Okay, so that's what. So it's very important that the girl should be married at an early age. This used to happen in the previous years. The few years before only this used to happen. We all must have seen this. That few years before, the girls were married at a very early age. Okay. And so actually this was good for in all terms, because when the marriage of the girls were done at an early age, the contamination was also less, and the mingling with the other boys, there was no chance of mingling with the other boys. They were not sent to schools and colleges to mingle. There was no co-ed education. So contamination was also less among girls. Second thing is because they are married at an early age, the tendency of being independent was also not there among girls. So that was also a very good factor of girls getting married at early age. Second thing, in the previous few years before, we can see regarding marriage, that the marriage was solely arranged by the parents. If you see, the marriage was only and only arranged by the parents or the relatives of the girls and not at all by the girls. That is also a very important thing, that the marriage was not at all arranged by the girls. The girls didn't find a boy for them. They didn't search for a boy for them. They totally depend upon the parents to get their spouse. So this is also a very important factor, because what happens, as Prabhupada says, that what happens at the young age, when the girl and boy is very young, generally bodily attraction is very prominent, and they generally mm, try to find their husbands, find their spouses based on bodily attraction, based on outlook, based on beauty, how handsome they are. So this is a basis by which they can select the husband. So previously the marriage was solely arranged by the parents. Okay, this is also very important. Third thing is, the parents used to search for their boy in their own caste. Caste was also very much seen. The parents used to, for example, the Marwadis used to select a boy among the Marwadis. The Muslims used to select a girl from among the Muslims. The different caste people. The Gujaratis used to select among the Gujaratis. The Patels used to select among the Patels. So they used to select the boy among their own caste. So that is also very important in the previous years. And the parents specially see to it that they select the husband, they select the boy among their own caste. See, previously, why this is so? Because in the previous, if you see in the previous years, generally whatever caste they are in, they were engaged in the same profession based on the caste. For example, the Marwaris were generally engaged in the business profession. The Patels also in generally the business classes, and this Desai caste, they're generally in the Brahmin classes, they are teachers. So whatever caste they are in, they are engaged in the same profession based on the caste. Okay, so generally they search the girl among the same caste. So that was also important, as we know that there are two types of marriages: Anilom Viva and Pratilom Viva. Okay, Anilom Viva and Pratilom Viva. What is the meaning of Anilom Viva? Anilom Viva means that if the boy is a Brahmin boy, okay, so the Brahmin boy, it's better that the boy marries the girl from a Brahmin family. Okay, that is called Savarna Bharya. That is the best option for a boy to get married get a girl from the Brahmin family. Another option is either the boy who is a Brahmin, search a girl from the Kshatriya family, and least is she gets a girl from the Vaishya family, but not lower than that. He doesn't prefer a girl from the Shudra family. Okay, so this was the thing. And same for the girls, Nanilom Vivais, if the girl is from a Kshatriya family, she should opt for a boy of the higher one, from the Brahman family or from a higher one. Okay, that is good for the girl. But for the boy, it's preferable that if he is a Brahmin, he should get a girl from the Brahmin family, and least by the Kshatri, or maximum by the Vaishya, but not Shudra. So these are all Anilom Vivas. And for example, this we can see in the story of Yayati Maharaj. If you see in the story of Yayati Maharaj, when Devyani proposed to Yayati Maharaj, then in that story we see that Yayati refused to marry Devyani. Why? Because Devyani is from a Brahmin family. Her father was a Brahmin and Yayati was a Kshatriya. So he said that no, I don't agree for this marriage because it's a Pratilom Viva. So previously, in the previous ages, people were very particular about Anilom and Pratilom Viva, because Pratilom Viva gives rise to Varna Shankar children, Varna Shankar Praja, Varna Shankara society. And so people used to very much stick to the Hare Krishna. So people were very much Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, so people were very much concerned about the children that they're going to produce. Okay, so that's why they're very much particular about marrying also. So when Yayati Maharaj was proposed by Devyani, Devyani was such a beautiful girl, but then also Devyani rejected to marry her. Why? Because he thought of the Anilom and the Pratilom Vivah. Okay, so because the Anilom, the Pratilom Vivah, the marriage is Pratilom, then it gives rise to unwanted children, which will give which can create chaos in the society, and that is not at all good for the spiritual upliftment of the society. Okay, so that is also the thing. Another thing is that in the previous ages, training was given to girls. That is also very important. The training, there was a training to the girls. She used to get the training from the mother, from the grandparents, about how he should live in his in-laws' house, how he should live with her husband, and practical training also was there for the girl, that she can see her mother, how she is living, how her grandfather, parents, and grandmother and grandfather lived. So she has all the training from the parents' house itself. Okay, and they have their ideals. The girls have their ideals in their life. The mothers and the grandparents used to tell the daughters stories of chaste Savitri, chaste Draupadi, chaste Gandhari. So she had a very good image of how to be a chaste woman, and she thinks of herself also being a chaste woman in the future lives. So that was also the thing, that a good training was given to the daughters before marriage of how she should live after marriage in the in-laws house. So that was also a big thing. Now the training has lapsed. There is no training among the girls. The girls have made their ideas, all the heroines, all the big personalities who themselves have no culture in their life. They have no, they are not following any spiritual culture in their life. They are just living like dogs and cats, and just animalistic life is there. So they have made these people as ideals in their life. So that is the problem the girls are facing today. But previously, the girls were properly trained by their mothers, by their grandparents, and how she should be. She should have a sacrificing nature. She should ignore the weaknesses of her husband, of other elderly members, and how she should work on the shortcomings of her shortcomings. This all training was given by the mothers and other elderly ladies in the house to the girls. So that was also very important in those days. Another important thing is, there was no option at all. For example, there was no divorce laws at that time. So the girl never thought of leaving the husband, or never thought of separation in the life, because there was no option at all. Because as soon as we give option to somebody, then also we start thinking enough. For example, I will give you one example. When I see my son studying in school, studying in Gurukula, so many options are there to select a subject. From the ninth grade itself, options are there to select science or commerce or computers, or so many options are there. So the child is getting confused. I told my son that when I was small, when I was studying in ninth grade, I don't have much option. No option was at all. Everybody has to study science. Everybody has to study social studies. So there was no confusion at all. But now, because of giving too much options in schools and in colleges, there is a big list of options given, so children are getting confused what to take, what not to take. Okay, and also there are so many fields where they can prosper in life. Previously, there used to be only commerce. There used to be only science. Two fields were there, science and commerce. But now hundreds and hundreds of fields are there where children can prosper. So lots of confusion are there in their mind. Similarly, when there was no divorce laws, girls are not getting confused. They know it very well that they have to live in their in-laws house. They have to adjust there somehow or the other, no matter how their husbands are, no matter how the in-laws they got, everything they have to just adjust. This is always goes in their mind, and this is how they were trained like this. Okay, because there was nothing like divorce. There was no sanction of the court that you can get separated from the husband. So that doesn't comes in their mind. But now, as soon as the divorce law have been implemented by the state, by the government, then the frequency of the husband and wife getting separated has doubled and tripled like anything, because now they have option. So this is also one of the loopholes of the marriage laws. Okay, so now we can see, as so we discuss about how marriages were settled previously, how parents used to very tactfully select a boy, they were very serious about selecting a boy, and how the marriages were arranged under the guidance of the elders, and there was full training of the girls. But nowadays, if we compare this with now with this present scenario, we see that the selection is totally on the basis of external looks, external beauty, fame, wealth, everything. Whatever selection is made is based only on the external factors. And second is, marriages are being done at a very later age. Generally, after 30 years of age, the girls are getting married. Because of that, they have a lot of independent thinking already been inculcated in their mind. And already in the schools and colleges, they have done a lot of mingling with the other boys. So the chastity is also reduced. There's no thing like chastity in their life. They very well know how to flirt boys, how to talk with them, how to deal with them. And there's so many contamination has there in their mind. So many contamination come in their mind. So this is also one of the loopholes nowadays. Third is, now choice of the boy is done by the girl herself. Even the parents are ready. Parents are just saying to the girls, okay, you go to the colleges and you select your husband. So this is also not good, because at a young age, the mental thinking, the mindset is that whoever is a handsome boy, whoever has a very good personality, the girls generally want to marry that boy. Okay, so this is, the choice is totally out of sex attraction. So this is also not good. Another thing is, the girls are not seeing any caste, any character, any taste, any nature. They are just seeing the external beauty. And no training is there to the girls. As I already told you, that the ideals for the girls are the hero heroines and the big personalities which they can watch in the internets. And because they don't have any proper stable married life, because they are not chaste, so they are taking them as ideals, so they themselves don't have any proper settled married life. Okay, and another thing is easy divorce. They can easily take divorce if they feel like they are not comfortable with their husbands, and their husbands are not comfortable with them. They easily opt for divorce. So these are all the loopholes that we discussed previously. What happened, and now what's happening. Okay, now things that we should consider now at seeing the present scenario. What things a girl should consider before selecting a life partner, that we will discuss. That is the topic of today's class. Okay. So before going for that, I just want to tell you that before discussing this topic, that how we should select a life partner, I just want to analyze this thing, that even if just leave aside the life partner, even if when we go to a market and we want to choose a good shampoo in the market, we want to choose a good shampoo, how much we think, how much we analyze in our mind. Okay, we see one shampoo, we see the ingredients, we see it's relevant to our hairs. If we have a dry hair, if our hair is falling, we just see is it relevant to us also, suitable for our hair. And we also ask somebody others opinion also, whether it will be suitable for us. We see the price of the shampoo, whether it's we can afford it or not. So much we think for just buying one shampoo, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, so much we think to buy one shampoo. So much, this is a very big, to choose a life partner, this is a very serious and a most biggest decision that we are going to take in our life. Because this is a lifelong decision that we are going to take. Shampoos we can change, things we can change, schools we will change, colleges we will change, but life partners we cannot change. So this is a very serious decision that we have to make in our life. So that's why we are discussing this, that what things we should consider before choosing our life partner. Okay, so first thing that we should keep in mind, that we shouldn't take a hasty selection. It should be a planned selection. The selection when we do, it should be a planned selection. Okay, it should be based, the first point, remember the first point, that it should be based on what the goal of life we have set. If we have set the goal of life to advance spiritually, so based on that goal we should select our spouse, we should select our husband. Okay, हमें अपने जीवन का गोल सेट करना है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमें डिसाइड करना कि व्हाट इज आवर गोल इन लाइफ. डू वी रियली वांट टू एडवांस स्पिरिचुअली? डू वी रियली वांट टू बिकम सीरियस इन कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस? इफ दिस इज आवर गोल इन लाइफ, then definitely we should select a partner who is also a devotee of the Lord, who is also trying to practice Krishna consciousness sincerely and seriously. Okay, so this is the first thing we should do. कि पहले हमें ही डिसाइड करना है कि हमारे जीवन का गोल क्या है. ठीक है, अगर हमारे जीवन का गोल इंद्रिय तृप्ति है, संसार में एंजॉय करना है, तो डेफिनेटली हमें ऐसा ही हस्बैंड चूज करना है जो हमें हमारे इच्छाओं को पूरा कर सके. ओके, पर अगर हमारे जीवन का गोल, इफ द गोल इज टू एडवांस इन स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ, देन वी शुड डेफिनेटली गो फॉर अ डिवोटी हस्बैंड. We should definitely go for a boy who is trying to practice Krishna consciousness sincerely. Okay. As also Bhakti Vinod Thakur sings in that song, तुवा भक्ति अनुकूल जे जे कार्य होय परम जतन तह परिबो निश्चय. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur sings in one song कि तुवा भक्ति अनुकूल जे जे कार्य होय, जो भी कार्य, whatever things are favorable to my devotional service, that I will do with utmost endeavor and utmost sincerity. Okay, so this we should keep in mind, that if our goal is to advance in Krishna consciousness, then we will definitely go for a devotee boy. Okay, so this is the first thing we should keep in mind before selecting a life partner. And also, if you see the story of Kardam Muni and Devi, there Srila Prabhupada writes that before getting married also, Kardam Muni was a Mahayogi. He was a Mahayogi, he was a great ascetic, and Devi she was also not an ordinary girl. Prabhupada says that Devi was a Yoga Lakshana, or advanced in yoga. So both of them were very advanced yogis. They were not ordinary devotees, they were very advanced devotees. Both of them were advanced devotees. So before marrying also, a person should be very serious in Krishna consciousness. If a person is a very good devotee before marriage, then Prabhupada says that after marriage, they can be very good couples. They can be very good grahasthas. And the children that they beget will also be very religious and very pious and can become a very good devotee. Okay, so this is a very important factor, that we should have set a goal in our life, that what is our ultimate goal in life, and accordingly we should select our spouse. The most important factor is like disposition. Okay, in third canto, Srila Prabhupada says in the story of Kardam Muni and Devhuti, when Kardam Muni was, what is the story actually? That Kardam Muni was ordered by his father, Brahma, that you expand the progeny. Okay, you beget children, more and more sons, so that this the progeny will increase. In the creation, more and more progeny is required. Na? So Kardam Muni, so Lord Brahma ordered his son Kardam Muni that you marry and beget children. So that was the order from his father. So Kardam Muni, because he was a very good devotee of the Lord, he didn't go to any goddesses or any demigods. He didn't worship Uma to get a good wife. He straight away went to Lord Krishna to get a good wife. So there also Srila Prabhupada writes that if a devotee is in need of any material desire, then also he didn't go to any demigod. He goes to the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna, only for fulfilling his material desires. Akama sarva kama moksha kama daradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. That a devotee, even if a person is akama, no material desires, sakama, all material desires, akama, sarvakam, mokshakam, even if he is desirous of liberation, in all the three cases, a person should do tivrena bhakti yogena. He should do sincerely devotional service to the Lord to fulfill all his desires. So in this also Kardam Muni, when he was ordered by Lord Brahma to beget children, to increase the progeny, then for a good wife, he did lots of tapasya, he did a sincere devotional service to appease the Lord. Okay. And then for 10,000 years, he did penance to please Lord Krishna. And then after that, he got the darshan of Lord Krishna. And then Krishna facilitated him with a very good wife, Devuti. Okay. So so in that context only, I will read one verse. Then when Krishna gave darshan to Kardam Muni, so by seeing Lord Krishna, Kardam Muni, what Kardam Muni said? Tatha sachaham parivuddha kama samana shilam grahame dadhenum upaivan moolam ashesha moolam durashaya kama duga angripashya. Therefore, desiring to marry a girl of like disposition, who may prove to be a veritable cow of plenty in my married life, to satisfy my lusty desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything, for you are like a desire tree. So Kardam Muni is telling that desiring to marry a girl of like disposition. This word, samana shilam, it's very important that Kardam Muni doesn't only want a wife, but he wants a wife of like disposition. Here Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, I would like to read the one line of the purport, that Prabhupada says that like disposition is very significant. For formerly, boys and girls of similar dispositions were married. The similar natures of the boy and girl were united in order to make them happy. But nowadays, parents in India, not more than 25 years ago, perhaps it is still current, parents in India used to consult the horoscope of the boy and the girl to see whether there would be factual union in their psychological conditions. Okay, so in this sloka, Kardam Muni is emphasizing Lord Krishna that I want a wife of like disposition. Why? Because a wife is necessary to assist in spiritual and material advancement. If the wife is of like disposition मतलब same interest, same likings, पत्नी का भी same likings है, same interest है जैसे husband का है, तो बहुत ही comfortable हो जाता है life में advance करना spiritually. Even materially भी advance करना easy हो जाता है when husbands and wife both have a like disposition. Okay, इसीलिए that's why previously the Kardam Muni is telling that please give me a wife of like disposition. Okay. Because then the Prabhupada is telling that it is said that a wife yields the fulfillment of all desires in religion, economic development, and self-gratification. If one has a nice wife, he is to be considered a most fortunate man. See, if somebody has a very nice wife of like disposition, then that man is considered to be most fortunate. Why? Because now it has become very easy for him to advance spiritually. Because the wife assists her husband in all the four aspects of economic religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. In all the four things, the wife assists the husband. That's why a good wife, a very nice wife of like disposition is, if a person gets a very nice wife of like disposition, then he is considered to be most fortunate. Okay, but in the 12th canto, if we see in Srimad Bhagavatam, if somebody has read the 12th canto, we see that it's written that in Kali Yuga, marriage will never happen on the basis of like disposition or same likings or same interest. No, it will be totally on the basis of sex life. So in Kali Yuga, the marriage will totally be on the basis of sex life. So this we can already see in the present day scenario. And marriages are taking totally on sex attraction. Okay. So second thing is like disposition. Also, if we see in the third canto, same chapter, not the same chapter. If we see the third canto, when Kardamuni got married to Devahuti, then Kardamuni and Devahuti begot 9 daughters. Okay. And then in that also, when Lord Brahma, at that time, Lord Brahma instructed Kardamuni to select husbands for his daughters according to their temperaments and likings. Brahma said to Kardamuni that Atastam Rishi Mukhebhyo Yatha Shilam Yatha Ruchihi Atmajaha Paribhyodya Vitsrasniha Yasho Bhuvihi. So Brahma is telling that now please give away your daughters to the foremost sages with due regards for the girls' temperaments and likings. Yatha Shilam Yatha Ruchihi. So give the girls according to their likings and taste. Yatha Shilam Yatha Ruchi. जैसा उनका likings है, जैसा उनका taste है, उसके हिसाब से उनके लिए husbands choose करो. Okay, so that was the main criteria for choosing the husbands. So that is the second thing. The third important thing is astrology. That is also very important. Generally, nowadays, people think that, okay, we are practicing Krishna consciousness in so many years. The boy is also a devotee, girl is also a devotee. What is the need to go for astrology? No, it's not like that. Because we are not pure devotees, because we are not totally surrendered into the Lord, all these nakshetras and zodiac signs and everything have an effect in our lives. So we should definitely go for matching the astrology of both the girl and the boy. We shouldn't go for very small details, but at least overview we should see that not a major hurdles come in their life because of mismatch in the astrology. Okay, sometimes a very big mismatch is there in the astrology. The boy's astrology is not at all compatible with the girl's astrology. So this is so at least that we should see that not a very big mismatch is there. Some few minor points is there, so we can ignore because both of them are practicing Krishna consciousness, but not the big things. So we should definitely go for astrology. And this Prabhupada also says that one must go for astrology. In one of the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, Srila Prabhupada says that according to the Vedic system, the parents would consider the horoscopes of the boys and the girls who were to be married. If according to astrological calculations, the boy and the girl were compatible in every respect, the match was called Yotaka and the marriage would be accepted. Regardless of the opulence of the boy or the personal beauty of the girl, without this astrological compatibility, the marriage would not take place. The Prabhupada is telling that irrespective of the parents shouldn't see the wealth of the boy or the personal beauty of the girl. It shouldn't be given the first primary factor. The first primary factor is both of them should have a astrological compatibility. So this is also very important that we should go for astrological matching of both the girls and the boys before getting married. Okay. Next is, fourth is culture. Yes, culture is very important. For example, if we see in the life of Swambhuva Manu and his wife Satarupa, when they decided to marry their daughter Devahuti, okay, being the Swambhuva Manu being the emperor of the whole world, he was the emperor of the whole world. Okay, how much opulent he must be. But despite that, they decided to marry the daughter to the sage Kardama, who was living in a small hut. And he doesn't have any opulence in front of the opulence of Swambhuva Manu. The only opulence which Kardamuni had was the spiritual opulence, the spiritual asset that he had. So because of the spiritual, lots of spiritual asset that he had, Swambhuva Manu and his wife Satrupa decided to give their daughter Devahuti to Kardamuni. And even Devahuti was also keen to marry Kardamuni. Why? Because she must be very keen to advance in spiritual life. The young generation girls should learn from Devahuti that how keen Devahuti must be, that she wants to leave all the princely opulences, all the जैसे राजकुमारियों को जो ऑपुलेंसेस मिलता है, लिविंग इन बिग पैलेसेस एंड सो मेनी सर्वेंट्स अराउंड and so many jewelry she must be having, so many nights, thousands, hundreds of nights just as she must be having, but she doesn't care for all these things. She is just keen to advance in the spiritual life. That's why she married Kardam Muni, na? Because Kardam Muni doesn't have all these things, and as soon as she will get married to Kardam Muni, she has to leave all the opulences she had in her father's house. So that is also a very good lesson to be learned by the young girls of the present generation. Another example, good example, what Srila Prabhupada says is of Parvati. Parvati was also the daughter of Himalayas, but she also got married to Lord Shiva. Okay, and Lord Shiva, he used to live like a ascetic who doesn't have anything. He doesn't have a house. He doesn't have a proper dress to wear. He doesn't have any servants, and overall, all his associates are ghosts and spirits. So who likes to live with Lord Shiva? But Parvati chose Lord Shiva because of his great spiritual asset. Because he was a Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu. He is the biggest of all. He is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. That's why Parvati decided to marry Lord Shiva. Why? Because by associating with such elevated devotees, we also get spiritual emancipation. We also get good spiritual association, so that we can also advance in spiritual life. So that is also one of the great consideration, that they don't consider any material opulences. They only consider spiritual opulences in the life of their husbands. And because of that, they sacrifice everything of their materially what they have in their lives. Okay, that is a great lesson. That is a big sacrifice that one should learn from their lives. Okay. Another consideration is age differences. Okay, so many gets confused regarding this also, age differences, how much age difference should be there. See, if we see in the previous years, ages was not a big thing. Generally, husbands may be of 30 years of age and the girls can be only 18 or 19 years of age. That much big difference was there previously. And even in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see the story of Chavan Muni and Sukanya. Chavan Muni was of age of maybe around 96 or 97. Sukanya was a young princess, but then also they got married. So actually, from the Vedic point of view, the husband can be of any age as in comparison to the wife. But seeing the present situation, it's recommended that maximum 10 years of age difference is okay, not after that, because there is something called generation gap also, which we can see in the present day society, that there's a lot of generation gap. If we have lots of age difference will be there, then there will be something called a big generation gap. Because of that, the wife may feel uncomfortable to live with the husband after a few years, when the husband becomes 50 years of age or 60 years of age and the wife is only 30 years of age. Then there will be a lot of age differences, and at that time there can be chances that the wife loses his chastity and get attracted to some other man who is of her age and who is more handsome than her husband, because the husband is getting old. So to satisfy her physically, mentally, and emotionally, everything which she needs up to her age, so she may lose her chastity, her faithfulness towards her husband. So it's better that the maximum age difference be of 10 years. Okay. Another thing is that should be kept in mind is, if one is marrying somebody, she can prefer, the choice is there, she should prefer to marry some devotee who is senior to her spiritually also. Maybe he is a senior devotee, so that she can learn a lot from her husband and she can get a lot, because husband is like a guru for a wife. Okay, I'm not saying that this must be there, but if she has option, she must opt for some senior devotee, so that she can get a good guidance from her husband. She can learn so many things in her spiritual life from the husband, and the husband can also correct the wife if she does any mistake. in her spiritual life, and also she can get encouragement from her husband's life to advance in spiritual life. And for children also, it's good if the husband is spiritually more advanced than the wife. For the children also, it's very good that children also can get a good guidance from their father. And it's overall, it's very good if the husband is a far more senior devotee than the wife. Okay. Next is another important thing is, sometimes when the girl is practicing Krishna consciousness, she try to choose her husband alone without any guidance from anybody. That is not good actually. Yeah, I can understand if the parents are not devotees, then she might think of choosing the husband herself. But in that case, I suggest that she should take the guidance of some senior Matajis, some senior Grahastas, and make them involved in her decision. Because see, even if we see in the story of Kardamuni and Devhuti, Swambhuva Manu, when they wanted to marry Devhuti, Swambhuva Manu and Satrupa, they both came to the place where Kardamuni was staying to talk to Kardamuni for her daughter. It was not that Devhuti came to Kardamuni and proposed for marriage. No, her parents came and talked to Kardamuni regarding her daughter's marriage. So this should be the system. The parents, best is the parents should be involved in the marriage of the daughter. But if the parents are not devotees, and if they cannot understand, or they are not able to think of the spiritual life of the daughters, then the daughters can definitely take help of some senior grahastas, senior matajis. But somehow or other, some senior must be involved in the marriage of the respective girl. Okay, so that is also very important. Otherwise, what happened in the young age, if nobody is involved, then the girl, or because of very small age to take big decisions, her decisions can be wrong. So it's better that she involves some elderly people in her marriage. Okay. Okay. Another thing, next important, is God's mercy. This is very important. Then again, I am going to quote this Kardamuni's Devhuti story. Actually, this is a very good story. Everybody should read this story, because we get to learn so many things from the story of Kardamuni and Devhuti. So in the Kardamuni's case, if you see, Kardamuni did tapasya to please the Lord to get a good wife. And what did the Lord do? The Lord was pleased by his devotional service, by his bhakti. The Lord was very much pleased. And despite that, Kardamuni only prayed for a wife of like disposition. Okay. But then also, what did the Lord do? The Lord gave him a wife who is a daughter of the great emperor Swambhuva Manu. Okay. So there Srila Prabhupada writes that if somebody is sincerely and seriously engaged in devotional service and praying even for some material desire, then the Lord fulfills that desire more than the devotee wants. Okay. Okay, so if we can see in the life of Kardamuni that the Lord, despite that, the Kardamuni didn't ask the Lord for a very beautiful or a good character wife. He just wanted a wife of like disposition. But then also the Lord thought of his devotee and gave her the daughter of Swambhuva Manu, who was spiritually very advanced, who was of a good character, very beautiful, and was incomparable at that time. Okay, so but in some cases, if you can see, for example, if you see in the life of Srila Prabhupada, who was a pure devotee of the Lord, but then his wife was not very supportive in the spiritual life of Srila Prabhupada. So why is it so? Then also Prabhupada writes in the purport that if this does not happen, then we should think that must be good for me in the spiritual life. If such things doesn't happen, that if we prayed for something, some material desires we had, and we prayed from the Lord that please fulfill that material desires by sincerely chanting the holy name, by sincerely serving the Lord, but then also our material desires doesn't get fulfilled, then we should think that that must not be good for my spiritual life. That's why the Lord has not given that boon to me. So we shouldn't get frustrated because of this. And just as we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada, when Srila Prabhupada saw that his wife was not at all congenial for the spiritual life, then he didn't take it something as a reverse in his life, but he take it as a Supreme Lord's mercy to just get frustrated from this material world, just get detached from this material world, and to advance more and more in spiritual life. Okay, so this is also very important, that whoever girl wants to get a good husband, she should very sincerely practice devotional service and keep on praying to the Supreme Lord that please, I want a very good husband. Or if a boy is there, we should pray that he wants a very good wife, so that both of them can practice Krishna consciousness and advance spiritually. Okay, so this is also one other thing. Last thing is karma. The point is karma, that whatever spouse we are getting or we will get, this should be always in the mind, that whoever life partner I will get, that is totally, it's my karma, it's my choice in the previous life. That's why I will get this type of life partner. So we should totally take it as a karma. If we do this, if we think like this, then we will not get frustrated at any stage of the life. We will be happy that whatever husband we have got, this is totally because of my actions, whatever I have done in my previous life. So because if we think like this, then we can it will be more easy for us to accept whatever husband that we have got. Okay, and our marriage life will be more smooth, and we'll take it as an opportunity to advance in our spiritual life. Okay, thank you very much. I hope I try to convey my points, and you might have understood what I want to say. Anybody has questions regarding this? किसी का कोई प्रश्न है? हरे कृष्णा. हरे कृष्णा.
माता जी हरे
हरे कृष्णा माता जी.
Yes, Madhuri. Anybody wants to ask any question?
कृष्ण.
Yes, Madhuri.
माता जी मुझे प्रश्न नहीं है, पर मैं ये कहना चाह रही थी लास्ट मंडे का
सुनाई नहीं दे रहा माधुरी. सुनाई नहीं दे रहा.
लास्ट मंडे का मैंने भगवत गीता का क्लास किया था.
Yes. I will send the recording. Recording already किया हुआ है, मैंने send नहीं किया अभी तक. I will send. Yes. और कोई प्रश्न है किसी का इस टॉपिक पे? Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Krishna Parayani Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी.
Yes,
प्रणाम प्रणाम माता जी. माता जी वो मतलब मुझे ऐसे पूछना था कि बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि जैसे हस्बैंड वाइफ के गुरु होते हैं, और बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि वाइफ मतलब कृष्णा कॉन्शियस में पहले आते हैं, या बहुत बार देखा जाता है कि वो एडवांस होता है. तो फिर गुरु और मतलब उनके शिष्य का संबंध में जैसे मतलब गुरु कैसे मतलब हस्बैंड एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करेंगे कि मैं इसका कैसे गुरु बन सकता हूँ, या मैं उसको कैसे ज्ञान दूं, क्योंकि ये तो पहले कृष्णा कॉन्शियस में आते हैं, तो इसमें मतलब हम उनसे ज्ञान नहीं ले पाते, बहुत बार ऐसा देखा जाता है. तो उसमें कैसे डील कर सकते हैं?
See, actually, on the spiritual platform अगर देखा जाए तो we can take spiritual knowledge from anybody. ठीक है. अब बच्चे से भी, जैसे श्रीमद् भागवतम में भी स्टोरी आती है कि दत्तात्रेय हैड सो मेनी शिक्षा गुरुज, बर्ड भी उनके शिक्षा गुरु थे, प्रोस्टिट्यूट उनके शिक्षा गुरु थे, फिर बहुत सारे लोग उनके शिक्षा गुरु थे, ठीक है। तो गुरु, शिक्षा गुरु कैन बी, सी व्हेन इट कम्स टू स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज, जैसे कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जैसे गुरुदेव हैं, ठीक है, तो गुरुदेव इज ऑफ एज ऑफ 60, और कई बार उनके डिसाइपल्स होते हैं, उनकी एज होती है 75, 76, ओके। तो कई बार डिसाइपल्स की एज ज्यादा होती है गुरु से भी। तो in the transfer of spiritual knowledge, age first of all doesn't matter, relationships doesn't matter, superior inferiority doesn't matter, because it's a spiritual relationship, okay. Yeah, definitely material point of view say husband and wife is there and husband is superior to the wife, okay, material point of view say. But from the spiritual angle, it can happen that the wife is spiritually more advanced than the husband, okay, and the husband can definitely learn some spiritual things from the wife. There is nothing wrong in that, if the husband is okay with that. अगर husband okay है उसके लिए, if they don't have so much egos कि मैं कैसे ले सकता हूँ इससे ज्ञान, अगर ऐसा नहीं है mentality, then there is nothing wrong that the husband can learn so many spiritual things from the wife, how to chant, and even philosophically so many things he can get cleared from the wife. There is nothing wrong in that. But because of that, agar egos are clashing, or husband is thinking that she has become my master, I am her master, इस प्रकार के problems आ रहे हैं, तो definitely the wife should take a submissive role and
हरे कृष्ण।
yes, yes, Hare Krishna. हरे कृष्णा सुनाई दे रहा है माता जी?
यस मैडम।
यस, कृष्ण परायणी माता जी।
हाँ, हरे कृष्ण माता जी, प्रणाम। आ रहा
समझ
थोड़ा।
रहे समझ रहे हैं, मतलब एज सच स्पिरिचुअल टीचिंग्स लेना या स्पिरिचुअल ज्ञान लेना या स्पिरिचुअल कुछ चीजें सीखना वाइफ से, ऐसे देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग इन दैट, but it all depends upon the particular husband, that if he can take or not. If his ego is more, then the husband should be submissive and stick to her spiritual practices. अपना स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिस करे, अपना साधना करे, हस्बैंड को एडवाइस ना दे, क्योंकि as Prabhupada says that the husband definitely have more ego as compared to the wife. This is how the material world has been made, okay. So and the wife should always needs to be more submissive to the husband, ठीक है। पर अगर उसको husband को they're acceptable to the husband, then wife can definitely train her husband, definitely teach her husband some spiritual things. There's nothing wrong in that, okay.
ओके माता जी, थैंक यू। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Okay, anything else? Okay, thank you very much. I just tried to give some classes in English actually, क्योंकि ऐसा सजेशंस आया है कमेंट्स में, क्योंकि कई लोग कह रहे हैं मुझे कि व्हाई डोंट यू गिव इंग्लिश क्लासेस, वी वांट टू हियर इंग्लिश क्लासेस आल्सो। सो व्हाट आई एम प्लानिंग, तृप्ति माता जी एंड अदर्स, कि आई विल मेक वन सेपरेट इंग्लिश ग्रुप, कि कभी भी इंग्लिश जो समझ पाते हैं, मैं किसी को परेशान नहीं करना चाहती इंग्लिश बोल के या इंग्लिश में क्लास देकर, पर जो लोग इंग्लिश समझ पाते हैं, तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि कभी कभी इंग्लिश में भी क्लासेस दूं, क्योंकि यूट्यूब में कई ऐसे कमेंट्स आए हैं कि आप इंग्लिश में भी क्लासेस दीजिए। तो आई वाज जस्ट थिंकिंग कि इट्स जस्ट अ प्रीचिंग. ऐसा नहीं कि मुझे इंग्लिश बोलना है या मुझे हिंदी बोलना है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. आई जस्ट वांट टू प्रीच कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस. दैट इज द ओनली पर्पस. ओके तृप्ति माता जी. So that's why I was planning कि अगर so I will make a separate English group कि जो माता जी को इंग्लिश समझ में आती है, जो कंफर्टेबल है इंग्लिश के लिए, तो I will definitely make a separate group in that English. और जब भी मुझे इंग्लिश में क्लास, I will give that English classes and send classes link in that group only. Is it fine, माता जी? सही है माता जी? Okay. Okay, माता जी. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Sarojakshi. Acha. Okay, thank you. Acha, you have question, Madhuri? Sarojakshi Gopi Devi.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है. मेरे क्या हुआ कि मुझे पता था क्लास का, बट है ना भूल गई थी. क्या बच्चे ट्यूशन आते हैं ना, तो उनको भी मैं भी थोड़ा भागवत पढ़ाती हूँ, तो फिर वो मिस हो गई क्लास.
Recording will be there, Madhuri. Recording will be there.
जी माता जी.
मैं पोस्ट कर दूंगी ग्रुप में.
जी माता, थैंक यू. हरे कृष्ण.
Okay, thank you
हरे
very
कृष्ण माता जी.
much. हाँ. Yes,
माता जी,
Madhuri.
आप के जो क्लासेस यदि आप इंग्लिश के जो क्लासेस लेंगे, आपके बोलने के क्लासेस,
मुझे सुनाई नहीं दे रहा आप क्या बोल रहे हैं. थोड़ा सा जोर से बोलेंगे आप जी.
हरे कृष्णा.
हाँ, यस 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 माधुरी. क्या?
मतलब जी मैं बोल रही थी कि यदि आप जो इंग्लिश में क्लासेस लेंगे वो भी आप ग्रुप में रखेंगे रिकॉर्डिंग.
यस माधुरी. ग्रुप में रहे. ग्रुप में मेरा तो चैनल ही है ना, पावर ऑफ चेस्टिटी चैनल है, उसमें आ जाएगा रिकॉर्डिंग.
ओके मैडम, ठीक है.
उसमें रिकॉर्डिंग आ जाएगा. ग्रुप में भी डालूंगी मैं. और आप मेरे चैनल में भी देख सकते हैं रिकॉर्डिंग्स, पावर ऑफ चेस्टिटी. मेरे चैनल में गीता की रिकॉर्डिंग्स नहीं आएगी, सिर्फ इस प्रकार के टॉपिक्स की रिकॉर्डिंग उसमें जाएगी.
माता जी आप गीता के क्लासेस तो हिंदी में ही लेंगे ना?
हाँ, यस 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 100%. गीता के मैं हिंदी में ही लूंगी, क्योंकि गीता के पब्लिक नहीं होता है ना. गीता के सिर्फ आप लोग के लिए ही होता है बस. सिर्फ ये वाले क्लासेस ही पब्लिक होते हैं, बाकी सब क्लासेस अनलिस्टेड रहते हैं.
धन्यवाद माता जी. हरे कृष्ण, प्रणाम.
गीता के क्लासेस अगर लेती हूँ ना मैं, वो सिर्फ आप लोग के लिए ही है, बाकी पब्लिक के लिए नहीं है.
हम्म.
सिर्फ आप लोग को ही
Yes,
लिंक
प्रणाम
भेजा
मैडम.
जाता है. जिसके पास लिंक होता है वही सिर्फ देख सकता है, बस पब्लिक नहीं देख पाती. पर ये सब क्लासेस पब्लिक के लिए, पब्लिक मींस ओपन रहता है. जो भी माता जी सुनना चाहे वो सुन सकते हैं. यस सरोजाक्षी माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. मैं पूछ रही थी कि आपने लिंक भेजा था ना वो बच्चों के लिए, भगवत गीता का कोर्स के लिए, वो हो गई क्लासेस?
यस वो तो कब से हो गई.
हो गई माता जी वो?
और क्या, वो तो कब से हो गई माता जी.
अच्छा अच्छा, जी जी, ठीक है. हरे कृष्ण.
ओके, नेक्स्ट टाइम जब होगी तो वापस लिंक भेजेंगे.
जी माता जी.
ठीक है ठीक है. थैंक यू वेरी मच. हरे कृष्णा. वी विल मीट ऑन मंडे. हरे कृष्णा. प्रणाम.